Okay. A tool that bears series of what? Events or activities. Good. Good. Any other person? Thank you, sir. Lovely. A means of keeping data, information for future references. Okay, let's look at. Oh, you want to try? Okay, let's listen to you.
We can refer to records as data or credentials of the past.
Data or credentials of the past. Beautiful. We've all tried. A retrievable information as regards an individual or issue or event. A retrievable information. When you refer to it as a data, data on its own is an unprocessed fact. But when we are talking about record, these are already finished products. It's information as regards an individual, an event, or a scenario. It is a process of collection of information that is what? Treated and stored for what? For future references. In another way, we can even as a thing constituting piece of evidence about what? About a past event. You can see we are always making reference to something in the past. And that's why we refer to it as what? As information. The most important thing there is that when we are talking about a record, it's not just an arbitrary thing, but it's an information about something that has passed, something that is no longer in vogue now. It's been done, stored somewhere or kept somewhere. Generally, we say school's record are basic and essential accounts of day-to-day running of what? Of the school. When I was in the secondary school, my then principal says, little things matters. Do we believe that? She will say little things matters. By the time we keep track of little things, the big things will take care of themselves. Do we agree with me? Yes. By the time we drive down into all this record, we will realize the fact that these are little things, but they matters a lot. Let's move on. Why do we keep records? Can anybody help us out? Why do we have to keep records? Yes, ma'am. For future references. For future references. Good? Good? Yes?
Yeah, records are helps us to project in the future, to plan for the future.
To plan for the future. Fantastic. To plan for the future. Yes? Thank you, sir.
To prevent fraud.
To prevent fraud. Or let me mention that. To do what? Unforeseen circumstances. But the elders will say,
to better understand the movement of target
a mistake twice. If we keep records, it simply implies that the way we walk today that made us to have an accident on the staircase, if it's been recorded, then the record will keep reminding us how best we need to move on the staircase in order not to have such accidents. Can we put it together for ourselves? Let's put it together for ourselves. It's simply we understand why we are here. We said to make the organization and administration of the school orderly and easy. For accountability purpose, somebody said. It gives information regarding the past and assist in what? In the future planning of the school. Record these. Record these. Do we all agree with all this? Okay, if we agree with all this, then it simply implies that we all agree we need to keep our record properly. What is the quality? What is the quality of a good record? If we know what a good record will do for us, then it simply implies that we should learn how to keep the record appropriately. Is that not? So let's look at what are the quality expected of a good record. Number one, the record must be what? If I'm writing in whatever form, my 50 shouldn't look like 80. And if I'm to write good, my good shouldn't look like fair. Are we there? My record is not something to be hidden. Record should be made available when the need arises. It must be simple and direct for every other person to understand. By the time I'm keeping records and my record is looking somehow ambiguous, then I might be doing a big harm than good to those that will actually make use of that record. My record has to be very simple and direct for everybody to understand. Wow! I want to understand what is expected of my record. Then it simply implies that as simple as appropriate kept for every other person that will make use of my record. How then do we keep this record? It's It has to be burning in me that I'm a teacher in this school for today. Tomorrow, I may not be here. Predictive recorded in the maths book, and the maths book on its own should not be littered, because there can be reference at any time to those scores, those attendance of yours. Sometimes ago, the number one citizen of this country was alleged of being a student of one institution or the other. It can happen to any other person. When the integrity of you being an alumni of a particular school is being put to test, these are the likelihood of what is going to bail us out. Like my grandfather would tell us when we are younger, he says, don't get into the net before the person that will rescue you. They are to be kept in the same place where it is authentic, secured, and it cannot be compromised. When we say these are school records, it simply implies that it should not be kept in our various rooms. It should be kept in the school. And when it's being kept in the school, it should be kept not even within the reach of the students. Because we are human. If the school record, take for example the maths book, is in the custody of the learners, what do you think will happen? What will happen? No. I will have A's in all my styles. If you are the one, what will you do? Of course. Everybody wants to have his. But unfortunately, because the French teacher doesn't like me, I don't even like the French teacher as well. So I kept on having C, D. To have the record of the French teacher in my hand, I will do justice to that. There must be continuity without gap and regular updates. Where we needed all these things, we will soon get there. So we will see why do we need to observe all these as an ethics of record keeping. Okay, we are getting there. What are the types of record we keep in this world? I want this section to be as interactive as any other thing. Now, because this is what we do. In the technical workshop, they have their screwdriver, the spanners, and the likes of them as their tools. But here in the school, we have all these as our tools. Can we come up? What are the types of record we do in the school, we keep in the school? Anybody? Yes, ma'am. statutory record and non. Why do we say some are statutory? And why do we say statutory? It simply implies that they are required. We cannot do this, our teaching and learning, without some basic records. It simply implies that they are what? They are compulsory, they are mandatory for us to have them. While some are not that important in the teaching and learning, but they equally assist us in the good running of the school administration. We have the teaching records and the non-teaching records. Teaching records, these are those records that are being managed by each and every one of us here. The destiny holders that are being managed by the school health. Those are being kept under the school administrators. But the one that actually affected you and I in the discharge of our school, our classroom activities, our interaction with the learners, those are what are teachers' records that are needed to be handled by you and I. And with that, let's look at them. Let's look at them one after the other and see how they look like. The first of them there, I will say is the vision and mission statement of the school. Do we have the vision role to our objectivity? You want to help us out?
Next generation.
If that is a vision, what about the mission statement of the school? Mission statement of the school.
Yes. Okay.
Can we continue? Can we? Okay. Thank you. Now, for the benefit of those coming, we are on record keeping. Okay? And what we are doing before you came in, we are looking at the various Number one we've looked at is the vision and the mission statement of the school. Probably because I've not been opportune to actually move around the school. The vision and the mission statement of the school is something that should be made public for all the learners. Vision and the mission statement of the school should be made public for everybody because that is the priority, the goal of the school. Okay. Secondly, we look at what is called the law. This is a record in the school kept by the principal of the school. You being a teacher in the school, your name is there. Every event, every activities happening in the school is being recorded here. And the building plan of the school. And this is why we just have to measure that. You just have to know where we are coming from. Where is the starting point? How do you measure that? Has a need. And the organogram of the school. Have we seen one? Is anyone here who have not seen organogram of the school? And that is that chart that starts followed by the vice principal administration and the vice principal academies, the HODs, the year tutors, the teachers, and at the last bottom we have the learners. Here, the school proprietor is not to be seen on this chart. The school proprietor, who happens to be the owner of the school, has no place on this chart. The first of it is the school principal, and the least of it there is the learners. after the SRC. School rules and regulation. Do we have one here? This is one of those records that spells out all rules that are binding on everybody, both the learners and the staffs. And this is one of those records we as a staff will consent to when we are being employed. That we agree to the terms and conditions of the school. So it's not something easy to us, because it's going to form part of our working document. It needs to have spelled out all actions and punishment for whatever violations. And that is the school rules and regulation. Even the Bible said it. Where there are no rules, thank you. The school calendar. School calendar. Have you seen one before?
Yes.
How does it look like? Anybody? School calendar. How does it look like? Activities with dates, by weeks so of the time. We should be doing this. This is a set of instruction from the ministry anyway. It's a set of instruction from the ministry telling you the start of the time throughout the section. You have first term, second term, third term in there. You have the number of weeks, and you have activities for each of those weeks. So it is after the government, the ministry has actually dished out this, each of the school domesticate it to their schools. And how it is being domesticated, we'll see very soon. The student teaching and non-teaching files. Though this does not actually concern most of us as the teachers, but it's important we know what. Can anybody just tell us what should be the content of the file? The content of the file. Do we all have file in the school? Okay, fine. If we all have files in the school, and our learners too equally have their own files as well, can anybody just tell us the likely things we can find in the file? Yes, thank you.
No worries, sir.
Teachers file, yes. Okay, thank you. Yes.
There's a letter.
Okay.
For permission for this anything. If you have done something bad and enter that in the project.
Good.
But for the student, we have the what do you call it?
Okay. Okay.
That form is there.
Okay.
What do you call it? Birth certificate.
Okay.
You have many medical issues. You have a copy of that, and you have that start.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Those are the content of the file. Those things are not just get a business stage. Those things are not fine, we all agree. Those are the contents of a file. But you will agree with me, all those things do not get into the file by accident. Like, I'm a staff of the store. After back and forth with the school heads and with the management staff, meeting test, oral interview, meeting with the board of governors of the schools and the likes of them, sorting out so many things. The next thing I will do is to accept the offer that I'm being given. Is that not? Part of that acceptance is the schools and regulations. I have to append my signature that can consider to all those parts, and it is now binding on me. Are we taking care of that? All my credentials, starting from where? My date of birth. My date of birth is my first credential, followed by my primary school leaving certificate, followed by my second degree. If the third degree is available, you append it like that. And the most important thing in the file is that as those documents are coming into the file, you use a red pen. A red pen. You keep numbering the content, each of the sheets. You number it at the edge here. You know, if this is a document that's supposed to be in the file, this edge here will be perforated. It will be tagged to the file. Is that? At this edge here, I will look at the last document in the file. If the last document in the file carries 9, this document will be what? 10. And in red ink at this edge will be written 10. So at any particular point in time, if anything is missing in the file, it can easily be what? Be traced. Are we there? Let me stop there on the issue of the file. At the management side, as the file moves from one level to another, from one office to another, you will see the front of the file is being addressed, it's being minuted. So if, as a result of carriage or storage, a particular sheet is taken out of the file, you are not doing it good because you are putting somebody to question. You are putting that person to question because the person will account for each of those leaflets in the file. And that is why record keeping is very, very important. That as it's applicable to the staff file, so also it is in student files and even the non-teaching files. Okay?
That's a question, sir.
Oh. Nominal row. Nominal row. Have we all seen an example of a nominal row before? Have we? Can anybody just tell us one basic things about the nominal row? Anybody? Okay, sir.
The nominal row, we can have one in the school already. You have the name of the teacher, qualification, date of employment, address, phone number, the Gmail, next of kin, and so many information about staff are listed on the nominal row. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That's the nominal row for you. But the most important thing about the nominal row is that it's strictly on a seniority list. It's on seniority based. If I'm coming into the school, now I met you in the school, of course I cannot be your boss. Boss, if I must be your boss, then it simply implies that it's based on a particular request the school management is bringing me in. Then it's a boss, of which will be seen and be clear. But in the normal sense of it, if I'm just coming in with my first degree into the school, then it simply implies that, of course, you'll be my boss. The number of experience I've had, or the year on my certificate, is not called to play here. Okay? That's the nominal role.
Based on what you just said.
Yeah.
But in private organization, I stand to be correct.
Okay.
You said if you come into an organization and you meet somebody there, except on clarity,
Okay.
the person becomes the boss. But in organizations where they don't have standard and structure, if somebody comes in, the person can hand the person in the organization before, and the person coming in, I think that should be on all basis, even with salary pattern. Why is it that most times people that comes in and met people there, they earn more than those people that are in the organization?
I wrote a letter, for application. I was entitled to regulated pay points. Then if I negotiate and they ask me how much will you collect, I said 50,000 because I'm desperate. 50,000 is okay. And then Mrs. Savage, because my husband will feed me if there is no food. How much do you want? Maybe you want 50,000. The manager will first of all look at me like this and say, but if they know that they will get something from me that they are looking for, they will employ me. Am I right? I met you there with 50,000. That has not made me your boss on the nominal role. So nominal role has nothing to do with your salary in a private organization. It's a seniority list. You might be my HOD and you are earning 30,000. And I'm earning 200,000 naira. You are my HOD, yes, I'm in my records. It has nothing to do with pay. Are we there? So when it's a private organization, it depends on your negotiating power. If you know how to bargain, and because you know of what you are coming from, but that does not make you a boss over that person that's there. If it's the person has rated higher than you. Am I right? Am I communicating?
Okay.
Yeah, it's another question.
Sorry, ma'am, does this case still apply to public settings? Okay, you have just described the scenario of a private sort of public setting where you have step by step, okay, in terms of growth.
I will take this as the last question for now. Then we'll write down the questions because in a proper management, in a proper setting. In a proper setting. It is not possible for a junior to become head over a senior. However, like I have said, if it's a private organization, especially if it's a one-man business, where they don't have a good structure, anything can happen. That is under concerning nominal roles. But the ideal nominal roles, you don't put a subordinate above the coordinator. It's never true. It's a failure of the management. It's a failure of the organization. It's a failure of the organization. However, it depends also on the roles you are playing. If I meet you in this school, you have been here for 50 years, and I am in the school as a vice principal, that level has changed. Even if I entered before, after you, and you are still there struggling, and you are not recognized, once that position changes, I become the Oga. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay. The next one is the ID card. I hope we all knew how an ID card looks like. Okay, I won't waste much time on that. The time book. Time book. Do we have any here? Yes. And what is it used for? What's the primary purpose of a time book? Anybody? Thank you. It tracks the punctuality. As you are coming into the school, the number one activity you do as a staff, you register your presence in the school with the time. And with that, it has a lot of implications to the management. From there, we know if you are an early comer or a late comer. The movement book. Movement book. The movement book is another record. You sign after taking permission from the school management, from the principal, that, oh, sorry, sir, please, I have issue with my astra, I have issue with my NEPA bill, I want to quickly get down into the NEPA office there and do some transaction, or I am cashless here, I want to get into the bank, I want to get to the ATM point, I want to do this and that. As much as you are moving out of the school premises, this is a document. For the fact that you've been granted the permission to go does not actually mean you can go like that. For you are leaving the school, have been granted permission to visit, and the time out will be there. Okay? And as you are coming back into the school, you still go back to the same book and register your presence that, oh, I am back. So that you will not be seen as somebody that has gone and never returned. Admission register. Admission register. This is another very serious record that is being kept in the school. Admission register here, because this is a private setting. The school management generates admission number for every bit of the child coming into the school. Is that not? And the admission register, the admission number of each of the child, which shows the progressive report of that child as the child is moving from one class to another class to another class. In a short, when the child enters into the school till when he leaves the school, the admission register symbolizes that for us. So we want to know, does the child actually complete the academic career with the school, or he just had just a session with the school. Because the admission registers will keep on portraying if the child is still in the school. Okay. Attendance register. See, here, we just have to be very, very careful. The admission register and the attendance register. I want to believe there is none of us here who has not seen the attendance register before. Is there anybody here that has not seen the attendance register before? Okay. This is that register that shows the name of the learners. This time around, you are not supposed to write the name of the boys up, the name of the girls down. No. You are not supposed to write the name of the boys with blue pen. Why do you write the name of the girls in red pen? No. You are supposed to mix up the name of the learners, arrange alphabetically. And this should be done before resumption. If the school resumes by 9, so between now and 8 of the month, so it simply implies that the registers must have been prepared. So as the letters are coming in the morning on the 9th, so you are supposed to mark, and you mark twice a day. You mark present in the morning, and you mark present or absent in the afternoon. At this very particular point, please be careful. The essence of all this record keeping is for it to be our witness. But if this is not properly managed, it can be a witness against. Do we agree with that? Because if you are that type of a class teacher who comes into the class and says, "Who is absent? Who is absent?" Nobody's absent. Okay, no one. You go down to your table and you start feeling bam, 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 bam. Apparently, one of those learners, God forbid, is involved in an accident on the road, on the way coming. And you, as a class teacher, you've already marked that child present in the school. What have you done for yourself? You should shot yourself in the leg. God forbid. Because if anything happens, and you are being called for questioning, what is supposed to bail you out? You've already fought it. And that becomes an issue. So, you just have to be careful with registers. The date has to be there, and you mark in the morning, and you mark in the afternoon. Very, very important. That details what a child is supposed to cover for year 1, year 2, and year 3. If it is in junior secondary school and senior secondary school, in each of the subjects. Okay? National curriculum. National curriculum. I want to believe there is none of us who don't know national curriculum. Is that paper, that booklet, that is normally presented in white and green format, and is for each of our subjects. National curriculum is supposed to be the companion of teachers. Because with it, you stress every bit of what is required of your subject is spelled out in details in the national curriculum. For each of the topic you want to teach, the instructional materials are is spelled out alongside with those topics. So if you are used to that, then you sweat less in preparing your lesson. General timetable analysis. This might not actually affect a quite number of us here as teachers, but it has great implication. I will treat this alongside with the general timetable of the school. The general timetable of the school is that big board that comprises of all the classes and all the subjects, alongside with the periods in the principal's office. It shouldn't be a hidden material, and most of the times it's always on a big board, on a flex, like that. It shows the classes and each of the subjects that is being allotted for each of the classes at any particular time. And on the analysis, it shows the categories of teachers we have allotted to each of the staffs, and that is on the analysis. It shows what period is to be handled by each of the staff. You are handling 10 periods. Of course, the fewer, the merrier. The fewer number of periods you have, the more efficient. Is that it? So, as an extract from that, you have individual teachers' timetable. That is a personal timetable for teachers. Hi, as an ICT teacher, as an English teacher, I'll have my own personal timetable when I'm supposed to be engaged with each of the learners. And in most of the time, we have my own personal timetable at the back of my lesson notes. Technologically has actually helped us these days. Wait to have those things at the back of my timetable or my lesson notes. I have a Google account. There's nothing stopping me from modeling my timetable on my Google account. And I will instruct Google every 10 minutes to my class, please alert me. And you see your phone beeping. Immediately it is 10 minutes to your class. So you don't wait till your learners will come around and say, yes ma'am, we are having a subject. Before it's time, I will have been at the door, alerting the current teacher in that class to wind up and just get out. The diary. It's another document that is to be prepared between now, before the resumption of this term. It will be prepared according to how you want to handle your subjects. It will be broken down into weekly activities. And at the same time, when the session starts, you keep marking the weekly progress of you with your learners on that your subject. Whatever you have been able to achieve for the week, you go to the diary. It's to be what? Evaluated by the vice principal academics. or any designated officer, any designated management officer. That shows the progressive report of your weekly activities on your subject. Your lesson notes, your note of lesson. This is to be written on a periodical basis. Take for example, if I am a mathematics teacher and I'm supposed to have a contact with my learners 4 times in a week, 1 double period and 2 singular periods, is it implies that I have to develop my lesson notes in the midst of 2? 1 for the double period, the second one for the single period, and the other single period. So it implies that in a week I will be having how many lesson notes? 3. I'm having 4 periods. 1 double period. Don't forget, I am a mathematics teacher. If you are having 1 double period, 1 double lesson, double period, single period for a lesson group, does it mean what I'm teaching them in the 3rd period will still be the same thing I'm going to teach them in the 4th period? So you now see why my lesson notes is to be written on a periodical basis. Are we there? Subject attendance register and math book. I will take the two together. Okay, if the school, I wouldn't know if the school uses the government recognized subject attendance register. That one is serving dual purpose. The first purpose it's serving is that it enables you to track the attendance of those learners that are a Greek teacher and coming into the class. The moment I enter the class, good morning class, good morning sir. Okay. I brought up my listen. Then I take attendance of the learners in my class. The date of today is there. I will write it there. If I'm conducting a test for them today, I will put it there and I will record the test in my score card there. So at the end of the term, if I'm compiling my results, and a particular child that is not available in my class, of course cannot claim he or she will have a score. But if you are that type of teacher that mark that attendance by proxy, already you are shooting yourself in the leg. Because you marked that child present while the child was absent in your class. So you have to provide a score for that child because you've already marked that child present when the child was absent. If you are lucky, and if you are not lucky with it, if anything unfortunate happened to that child while you said the child is in your class, then you will explain. Lesson list book. This is another document. No, this one is manned by the class captain. Like I would love to say, this profession of ours is a calling. Is a calling. Aside our monthly remuneration stuff, and if we do it otherwise, we will be there to dance to the music. Forward and explain why this particular period up with what the learners are pleased. This is that record that presents the learners in our class in the order of their academic performance. Based on their performance in their respective subjects. The broadsheet. The most important thing about the broadsheet here is this, and the marks book. For we teachers to be teachers to actually motivate our scholars is not a good practice. Changing 3 to 8 is not good. The correct practice here is that's being experienced by the accountants. Mistakes. At times, accountants will have to write 800,000. They will put it make it clear to the world that, oh, this is a mistake. You know what they do? A simpler stroke. A simpler stroke. They don't paint. A simpler stroke, and they put the correct thing there. But you can even do it. It's a live document. It's a document that when you prepare today, 20 years to come, we can still make reference to it. So you can avoid not to make any mistake on it. Broadsheet. So we have a guidance and counselors records. He or she? Oh, good sir. You said? You have. Can you just intimate us those records you keep?
In the guidance and counselors record, we keep record of the students' biodata, the record of observed, and then the counseling session, intervention session, we have the name, and then the full record. Good.
I have allowed him to actually share with us. We are all para-counselors. Are we not? We are all para-counselors because in our various subjects, you cannot do without the average learners. Then what do you do to them? You talk to them. You encourage them. What are you doing? Then you can follow up on them to make sure they are alive with the rest of their colleagues who are doing fine. Okay. Conduct book. Conduct book. Conduct book. In those days, they call it the black and the what? And the good book. This is that record that is being managed by the school administration. The record of everything a child does on the positive side is recorded there. On the negative side is equally recorded there. We call it the record because we don't want to do anything with the black and the whatever. So we call it the conduct book these days. Another thing we look at is the dossier. The dossier or the report sheet. I wouldn't know the one being used here. If you are using the government recognized result booklet, this is a document that shows the affairs of a particular child for a particular term. The various subject teacher has to do justice by incident is there. At the end of the report sheet there, you will see the class teacher commenting on the behavioral attitude of the child, while the principal or the school will comment on the academic affairs of the child. And at the lower part of that result booklet, you will see the parents' comments there. If the school is using that of the government, it's incumbent on the child, or let me say the parent of the child or the guardians who had come forward to come and collect the result booklet, or the school does that on their behalf, to make copy of that report booklet. Because, okay, in the government section, what is available there is just about that is a copy. And while the dossier will be released to the child, the parent that accompanied the child out to the school, on that field, they will put the parent's comment there. If you attest to that comment being passed on the child or not, you put it there. A copy of that sheet is made and kept into the child's file while the dossier is released to the parents for them to dwell with at home. At the beginning of the next session, the next time, the child will be asked to bring back the dossier to the school. And when the child is leaving the school, the child has the right to go away with the dossier. Okay?
What we use here is we have a portal.
Okay.
Where the parents will access the result at the end of the term.
Okay.
And that report sheet for the school, we have, just like you said, a column where the class teacher will comment on the child behavior.
Okay.
Then the head of academic, the section for the academics there. There's a section for the parent as well to really comment on the portal. And I'm not challenging that area. When they access the report, most times no feedback. So we leave it like that. I don't know if there is any issue with that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, my madam wants to address that.
When we are talking about computer age, these are the problems we put ourselves into. And you know, as a parent, I can even say I did not see the report. So what we always encourage the school to do in such a situation is, any day the child is coming back to the school, don't see the comments of the parents on the report card, on your portal. We have copy sent with that child with a note. Of course, please, I will take you back a little to your rules and regulations. This should have been part of your rules and regulations that you expect a feedback from the parents of the performances of their children. So that child goes back home that day with that hard copy where the parents have penned the signature and made their comments. Without that, you can issue another query to the parents, and all this one should be kept in the file. So that if I want to fight in the school, I say, what kind of job you can just bring out, you do shout. Just bring out the file and say, oh, so okay, the memo was sent to you, they have copy, because we do not see your comment on the mail that was sent to you. Some parents, yes, they want to puff, of course, all of us are not all of us are computer kids. So some are even very lazy when it comes to operating the computer. So if you build all you do on this computer in and out, some people can't just even educated and well-to-do people, so they don't put their bills at times. So waiting for them without a report is a waste of your own time, because your impact on that child is not known, it's not seen. So get that for every child. Supposing your system also crash, what happens? It means you say you have this At the cloud. Then the cloud becomes cloudy. What happens? The rain will fall. And then the old thing is messed up. So sometimes whatever documents you have up there in the cloud, always especially essential work to have them outside the cloud, inside your pocket. So that when it's needed, you bring it out and you can give it call. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now that we are practically moving into paperless society, how are we going to go? Even if you go to visa office or visa before they give you paper, then pay some paper to fit to have your visa. But now they send everything what they require to you in your email that you keep and you go. So how are we going to go?
Remember, when you do that, you download that paper that you have filled. You download it, yes or no? See, you are not getting me. You are not getting me. The application that is going, you must be careless not to have a copy of what you are sending out of your system. Even if you are sending it out, you must have. I cannot remember last time I visited the license office to collect anything. I do all things online. But as I'm doing it, I'll just show you that these are my papers and it has been sent to the office. Of course, the mails will be there. But we are moving away from computer. Even let me tell you something. Even we that we are copying the white men. See, if they send you a mail via email or whatever, they send paper copy. That each mail they send to your box, they will also send you the paper copy. So every time when you open your box at home, you always see those documents that were sent to you via email. So let us not take in things that can hurt us too hard when it's going to be needed. That's just what of me.
My last question,
We don't have to. That's why I said you have to write it down and let us finish. We're even away from our time already.
Okay. Sorry, ma'am. Please put your question down. There will be question and answer time. Sorry. Okay. The prefect list is another document that is to be kept by the management. This shows on a yearly basis the categories of learners that as a man was assigned to each of those learners while they were in the school. Parameters while they are leaving the school, this will feature in their testimonial that okay, Adewale Adebanjo happens to be the head boy for 2023-2024 academic section. The SRC Minute Book, Student Representative Council, which comprises of the prefects and the class captains, to be guided by the school councillors. Though the voice of the school councillor is not to be heard, it's just you are just to guide them in their decision making, just to guide. You are not to vector your opinion on them. Let them come up with their own opinion. So they keep the minutes on their own and they make all decisions known to the management. Visitors go. This is in two folds. This is in two folds. The visitors go. There is one at the gate, and the other one is the official. What do? For everybody stepping his or her leg into the school, and is not a parent, their assignments, it could be a government functionary. It could be an old student of the school. coming on the visitors book. The official one is up normally with the school principal or any of the top management team. While the second one is at the gate. For every other person that is having one engagement with the school, you want to come and pick up your child. You are taking your child away. You want to come and make an inquiry concerning the school. Before you are allowed to see either the counselor, the principal, the vice principal, and whoever is in charge, you must append your name, time, your purpose to the book. And that shows the record of those that are making traffic in and out of the school. Inventory book. Inventory book. This is a record that comprises of everything, the holistic property of what the school owns. Everything that belongs to the school, you must list them in the inventory book. Committee records. Committee records is another document that comprises the various committees in the school. Invariably, every operation of the school is not to be manned by just singular person. Staff welfare committee, they should have their own record book. Disciplinary committee, sports committee, examination committee, assembly committee, duty rosters committee, every other committee formed in the school should be enlisted on the committee records. The staff minute book. I can understand you have your staff pre-reception meeting yesterday. So your staff secretary must have put up the minutes showing where, when, and how the meeting proceedings was held. So instruction files and memo book. This is a record that is showing a sort of communication between the management and the staff and the learners. Take for example, an instruction is passed by the management to all the staff. The staff secretary put up this for you to read and append your signature. You read and append. That's the memo book. The government publication vis-a-vis the policies on education, be it that of the state and the national. And these are documents to be taken care of by the school administrator. Account book is another record that is being taken care of by the bursar of the school. And this shows how the learners are paying and which of those learners that are indebted. Everything shows in there. Okay, the dispatch book. Sorry, I have to be fast in it now. The dispatch book is that record that is showing how a particular document is dispatched to another person within and outside the school. Duty rosters. Who has been assigned a particular duty and assignment, and for what period? It could be normally placed on the notice board in the class, and if it's within the staff, it's normally placed on the notice board within the staff room. Then we have the sick pay record by a medical professional in the sick bay, showing the list of the names of learners that has attended for one element or the other and what actions have been taken on them. Safeguarding and Child Protection Board. This is another record that is supposed to be handled or managed by a safeguarding and child protection officer in the school. This is quite different from the counselor. In our subsequent lesson or interaction, you see more functions about the safeguarding and child protection officer. Then files on various subject matters, committees, inspections, school bus document file, PTA file, SBMC file. All these are to be managed by the school management. So, impacts. When all these documents are properly kept and managed, what do the school stand to gain? One, they provide necessary information for decision making at the school management level. It aids the teachers to have necessary information to guide learners morally, socially, and academically. It poses more confidence in the staff, even before the management, that I have done what is expected of me. I have put it straight my record, the way it's supposed to be. I can face anybody, and I can explain anything as being put as questions towards me. It gives direction on the overall development of the school in terms of examination results, school attendance of staff and the learners and the rest of it. It also helps to be able to assess the family history influence on the general behavior and the performance of the learners. It facilitates the admission, transfer, or the withdrawal of any child at any particular point in time. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Musa. And I want to believe we have learned one or two things. Please, I want us to give you a round of applause. I want to believe we have learned one or two things concerning our records that we're supposed to keep, especially with the teachers. I only take one or two questions quickly because of our time. We are supposed to be on break before we come back for the second session. Have I got a question? Any question? Oh, sorry. You know, with the light on my glass, I cannot see the two. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
My first question is on the scheme of work.
Okay.
Now, as a school, we have our own scheme, and we also have the Lagos State scheme. So, at what point are we supposed to have an action between the two schemes? Are we supposed to leave our school scheme and follow verbatim the Lagos State scheme, or can we marry the two, and how do we marry it? That's the first question. My second question is on time allocation. For instance, in a week, I have 4 periods. in mathematics, okay, or mathematics as a primary school teacher, am I expected to write 4 lessons for a week on mathematics? Or should I write the content while on the step I will state in indicating that I have 4 periods and the different methods I intend to use? These are my questions. Thank you.
Let me start from the back. We're expected to have 3 lesson plans, 3 lesson notes. But usually in primary school, you use lesson plan. That is the difference. In lesson notes, you stage it as to what you will do. In lesson plan, it's like a guide of, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Remember, your lesson plan also is based on day-by-day activities. Your lesson plan is based on daily activities, home economics or home science, PhD for each day, and then we move. So, in your lesson plan, it also guides you on what I am teaching now. If I write 4 periods at once, and I don't finish the content of the first period, at the end of the first period, I did not finish the content of the 4 periods. It means I have not achieved the set goal on authority. But if I write only 1 or 2, unable to finish my lot of lessons, my teaching on that subject at that particular day, I have the right, the privilege. I have the right or the privilege to carry over incompleted or uncompleted work of last day to the new day. My topic for today is garment making. It's a broad one. The first one is how to make handkerchief. I've learned how to make blouse. We were able to cover the body, but we couldn't finish with the hands. You have the prerogative or the privilege to say, unable to complete previous lesson, it has been moved to the next lesson for completion and for introduction of another one. So I will have to finish up the hands and then move to the trousers for the next lesson. But if you write all the 4 periods, you make mess of the time of the work. So ideally, you write as you go. And that is why when teachers say, I have free time, your free time is supposed to cater for those periods in your notes that you have missed out. Do you get what I'm trying to explain? Or you are not there? Oh, okay. Now, for the syllabus, we have a standard for Nigerians. Unfortunately, most of us detaching it away from the normal norms, and that is why I'm sorry to use the word that most of our private schools they help the students with examination, external exam. Given to us and not properly followed. Because we want to create a class for ourselves. No matter what you want to bring out from your school, it must go in line with the national and accepted curriculum scheme for the country. Most of us want to go international, but even if you are not being able to be successful in national, can you go international? It doesn't work that way. So you have to manage. You are preparing for your school. Your school is not above Nigeria. I mean, your school is in Nigeria, and you're expected to write the same examination that students in Nigeria are writing. Unfortunately, some parents say, my children are going abroad to study, they don't need to write. I pray they will not need it. Wait, man, I pray. Listen, you assume they don't need it because you assume they will never come back for anything in Nigeria. I pray. See, I'm sorry to use her as an example, and I respect her because she resigned. The issue of them at Joshua is very fresh in our memory. There are greener pastures outside, and to help with Nigeria. A time comes and they say, there's no help in Nigeria, there's also something else for her to come and do in Nigeria. So what happens? She had to leave. She had the stuff, but she had to go. Because our thoughts, our achievements, had nothing to do with the beliefs of Nigeria. Meaning, you don't have respect for that country called Nigeria. That is why you choose not to kill your NYSC. There is no reason why you encourage a child whose background always listen to news. One man spent about 60-something years and thereabouts in the UK, and when he was asking for something, they said he's not a citizen because he has not passed through all that he needed to get it. So he's not a Briton, and he has to go back to Ghana. See, you don't need it today, but you might need it tomorrow. Why not do the ideal thing? Encourage the parents to let their children write to ahead in Nigeria. Write it before you travel outside the country. Somehow, someday, you may need to come back to this country. We normally do evaluation of certificates when you bring it. I am telling you, because of the opportunity I had on that table, that 3/4 of the certificates from Togo is abroad, that the certificates cannot be measured because those schools are not registered, they are not recognized. So it means every money you have spent on your child in those schools that you send them to is a wasted effort in your life. I'm not saying you should not take your children outside the country, please do. But remember that I need Nigeria. I have a friend, after spending, think about 40-something years in the UK, she had to come back to Nigeria to come and write medical certificate examination in Nigeria. She practiced abroad. But I can't remember what she said abroad. And they had to send her back to Nigeria to come and write this exam. You don't need it to do. You might need it tomorrow. I don't know the last question.
Can we harmonize? Like she asked us.
Can we?
Can we harmonize?
Yes, I'm not going to be the one that will help you to harmonize to a percentage. The truth of the matter is, there is a content. There is a content. In that scheme of work, there is a content. It is their presentation of content that you have a priority to manipulate. Do you understand me now? If you are to teach this topic, how do you want to present that topic to the learners? Your own way is allowed. But for you to now say, we want to remove something and add something, you can't do. And it's not permissible. Okay. Your question, please, before I go to. Quickly, your question.
Based on comments, I noticed in private schools, some parents frown at teachers' comments in the sense that if a child is not sound in academic way, and after giving comments, you see parents, they will say, why will you give my child this comment? Meanwhile, maybe to my own reason, I was thinking maybe because of their paying school fees. That's why they want you to applaud their children. As in, if a child is not merit to have that comment, maybe they now want you to like, oh, very good, so good. Meanwhile, in private, in government school, they give you your own comment based on what you merit. So I just want to know, why is it that parents in private frown at comments? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will tell you with all sincerity that blame should be on the school management. But it should be at the back of our mind that we are building lives. Our own business might not have a reward, cash reward immediately, but that child will come back to come and appreciate you if you actually play your role in the life of the child. Of course, before you write your comment at the end of the year, you must have been writing your comments at the beginning of the term. You must have been carrying your counselor along. Now, this child, which is not allowed. This child, which is not allowed. But you should have tried your best to create a time of understanding the child. Because sometimes the way we use the derogatory words on these children goes a long way. No! Show them love. How many of us watch Lean on Me? This film, there's a film, Lean on Me. I can't remember the man who. It's there.
Let me see.
If you can Google it, you can pay for them in the school to also see. It's one of these, they just pay for them. Let us see how you can reform a child. You don't speak in my class. You wait now. We are only interacting. You don't speak in my class. Are you writing down something? And I use your pen. By the time you do that for a child who is not concentrating, that child will know that I am monitoring. I mean, but this is, you are sleeping in my class. That is why you feel that. In mentoring my students, even my children. How many parents will hold hands with your children and say, let's go out for a school? You see that there's a car, but I cannot go out. You must bring them close to you, even your students. There's nothing wrong when we are moving on this staircase and say, hi girl, how do you do? Some of us will say, that child. No. As a teacher, identify their strengths, identify their weaknesses, work from that their strength to help them out on their weaknesses. Don't amount their weaknesses, but then write your comments. That is your comment. But you cannot say this child is not good academically. No, it's a very large and loud comment. We can improve in the following subjects with a little assistance, and please avoid being the one that will give that assistance. They will say if you just want to need to or have to come and do extra lesson, that's why you're writing that. And write the truth or write it in a manner that is not derogatory to the child. Otherwise, you are killing the morality of that child. It will be a struggling child, yes. The child can be a struggling child. But if you start writing, it's not good. Take it to capital shop. It's not the best. So don't use derogatory word. However, before you do, like I said, there must be a record with the counselor. There must be a record with his vice principal academics. There must be a record on what and what is expected of a child, that child, before you start hammering on that. Then nothing was said about records of school library. Please, what is the appropriate structure? School library, yes. You must have. Okay. I will answer this one straight before I go to school library. Yes. It depends on how you view it. I don't know that do you believe that Nigeria curriculum caters for the needs of the child in the universal world? I say yes. And that is why those of our children that are good academically, when they go outside Nigeria, they perform wonderful. So we have good curriculum in that area. fine. We do, we have. But parents are killing it. My child to go for, even if the child doesn't understand what you are saying in physics, maths, and biology, you are saying that child should still remain in school. Take that child to technical school. When we go through the technical school, you will meet at the top again. There is no failure. There is no failure. Once you are not good at academics, you can be good. You can be very good in technical. I have a friend whose child, a medical doctor, who told the child that I know you are struggling in this area. Can you go and learn some things? And they took him to the technical school. The boy is doing wonders now when it comes to furniture. Oh, and when I as a teacher, I am struggling to connect how much the patient. Where is that teacher? What's his name? Chiji. I want to make this set. Mommy, because it is you, maybe 200,000 naira. Don't run away. And he tell me, how this work? And you are struggling to collect 30,000 naira after what you have done in the class. So I always tell people that if I am good here, let me keep it up. If I am good here, let me keep it up. There is no one that is a wasted child. If you guide them right, you will get the best from them. My son is studying architectural and whatever I want to call it. The day told me that he's going to go to furniture. I was crying. How can you go and do that? But today, I am happy that I took that decision. My daughter went for mass communication, and she came back and said, Mommy, I want to start poultry farm. In the poultry farm, I was expecting her to be on the television to see. I said, when I went for my practical, what they were paying was an insult. I want to go to Africa today. He's like that. I'm broke. I should just laugh. Because if she sells just 10 good pigs, it's over a million. And the nursery time is between 6 and 8 months. So if I can get 1.5 million, 2 million, nursing something, and my salary for the 6 months is not up to that. Am I right? So don't discourage any child. For me, my hands are stainless. So I can't carry load. That's why I remain a teacher. And I stay back with JJ. Do you understand? You are all good in your own areas. Don't look down on yourself. And don't compare yourself with the other person. Because you are wonderfully and fearfully made. So we have our library madam or teacher. Please, your library must be arranged in a way that as soon as we come, we can easily see the subject books we are looking for. So all books must be section by section, class by class. The books for JS must be JS section. The book for SS must be in SS section. And you must have your paper tape on the the book card. The book card must indicate the subjects in that particular shelf, so that anyone that comes in will put it there. But please, your indicator must give a good record. Don't put English and Yoruba together. Put economics as your indicator. You know we do that. When they are returning the book, you just forget the book and drop it somewhere. No. When they are bringing it back, as a good librarian, you collect from them and put it in the proper place. And at intervals, our students can be funny. They will come in, use it and drop it anywhere. Check your cabinet at intervals and make sure they are well arranged. Once they are well arranged, the moment you turn your back, you know, there's something wrong with this sport. What are the standard records? Have those actually step into the case, and above all, we must have a solution that we are waiting. So we are going to stop here. Maybe when we want to start the next lesson, take it up. So as a school and as a guidance, as a law, you must have your own image of what you want your students to look like or to be like. And based on that, you can form your own guidance counselor booklet. It's not hard mind booklet, just like any other book. It's not, it must be like this. You can have variation. The only thing is you must achieve the set goal that it's supposed to achieve. On this note, shall we rise? My head, my shoulder, my knees, my toe, my head, my shoulder, my knee.